Hi, this is Cary Pilet, and I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about how to teach children to time out. This is an important technique in calming children down as well as correcting behaviors that we find we don't want our children doing. And when I talk about this, I talk about it as a bench technique, B-E-N-C-H, because I envision putting my child either in a chair or on a bench for the purpose of this event. A timeout for a child is a 4-step process. Remember that in children we have to teach them what is going on and how to do it, and that's why we do this in 4 steps. Step number 1 is to actually put the child into timeout. And so you have to have already decided where this is going to be in your home. It can be in a chair, it can be on the sofa, it can be in the corner. But it needs to be somewhere where there are not distractions and there's not any way for the child to entertain themselves. So their bedroom is not a good choice for a timeout area because most kids have a lot that they can actually do in their bedroom other than calm down. Rule of thumb for how long a child needs to be in the timeout to calm down part of this is about 1 minute per year of age. Okay, at that point, then we're going to go back and check on them. So if, for example, I put my 5-year-old into timeout because she is hitting her little brother, I'm going to put her in timeout, and she will I either have to show her where that is if I haven't done this previously, or I tell her to go to the timeout chair in my case, and I put a timer somewhere. I use my microwave timer. Some people have like an egg timer, but you have to set a timer to remind you that you're going to go back and see that they're calm, and to let the child know that that time to be calm is now up. When you go back to see if they're calm, then you can move to step 2. If they're not calm, you may have to give them a little bit more time to calm down. Step 2 of this process is for the child to be able to understand why they got put in timeout, which means they need to be able to tell you what was going on that wasn't appropriate and got them sitting in the chair or standing in the corner. Okay, so in the example I'm using, my 5-year-old hits her little brother. She would need to be able to look at me and say, I was hitting my little brother. Okay, when we first teach children this, they may not really have an understanding of why they got put over here, and a part of what we have to do in teaching them this is they have to begin to understand that what they were doing affected what happened to them. That's that linking process. So when we're first teaching them about timeouts, we have to let them know why, and they need to repeat it back. And it may take a few times. So if this is the first time she's been put into timeout for hitting her brother and she hasn't connected, I got put into the chair because I hit my little brother. When she does it again tomorrow, she's going to get put into timeout again because she hit her little brother. And it may take a few times for the child to figure out, oh yeah, cause and effect. I did this and this is what happened to me. That's step 2. Step 3, the child needs to then be willing to apologize to whoever they owe an apology to, and to make up for what they have done to that person or what they have not done that may have also gotten them there. Okay, so lots of kids, when they get put into timeout and they realize why they're there, are willing to say, I'm sorry. Lots of times it's to the parent. They want to tell mom or dad, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it, or I'm sorry, I won't do it again. And that's okay. They can apologize to me if I'm the one that needs the apology. However, in our example, my 5-year-old hit her little brother. I'm not the one that needs the apology because I'm not the one that was offended. I'm not the one that was on the receiving end of the behavior. And so in this case, she needs to apologize to her little brother, which is a part of this. And then there has to be a decision for how she's going to make up to her little brother for having hit him. And so there are multiple ways to do that too. If it's a first time, an apology may be enough. If it's a pattern though, or a habit where we're doing this over and over, there needs to be some kind of a penalty imposed. And so you may have something that you're going to ask her to do to make up for hitting her little brother. Sometimes you'll look at little brother and say, how could she make this up to you? And little brother may have some ideas for how this can be made up to him. You may look at the 5-year-old, my daughter, and say, how do you think you should make this up to your little brother? And she may have some ideas. My point is, there's an apology, and then there's the accountability piece, which is how I'm going to make this up to this person. The 4th step in a timeout for a child is a hug. Our kids need to know at the end of the timeout that we love them. That what's going on is about what they did, not who they are. I'm going to point this out because sometimes kids do get punished. They get put into timeout and they talk about it like this. My daddy doesn't love me anymore. My mommy doesn't love me anymore. They can have confusion about correction of behavior with how my parent feels about me. So step 4 is, come over here and give me a hug. I need you to know that I love you. I love you. And I may have to caveat that. I didn't like what you did. That way they get the connection between the two. So there you have it. 4 steps to a child timeout. They have to be put somewhere where they can calm down. They have to understand and be able to tell you why they're there. They need to be accountable, which means they apologize and they make up for it. And then they need to be reassured that we love them. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Cary Pilet.